Hey everyone, welcome to my channel or back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about, do a recap of my first trimester, and I'm still in my second trimester right now, but I'm gonna do also the differences between my first trimester and my second trimester now. Yeah, so when I was in my first trimester, I was writing almost every week the different symptoms that I had and the changes that I was going through. So I'm just gonna go through that, and I'm hoping this helps someone. I don't know, this is just even before I was pregnant, I also would watch these videos like Molly May's pregnancy updates. I just think they're interesting. So also I want to be able to look back on this and see what I went through, because I'm probably not going to remember this in 5 years. So the specifics that I'm going through right now. We're gonna start with my first trimester and my symptoms leading up to when I found out. We found out in April. My symptoms leading up to taking the test, it was just missed period, sore boobs, but that was normal for my period. My boobs would get really sore. Yeah, cramping. The cramping was similar to my period, so that's why I didn't think, again, I missed my period for a whole week. I was a whole week late. In my notes it says I found out at 3 weeks according to the app. I use the app Flow, and I use that for my period to track my periods, my ovulation, just everything. I didn't know there was a pregnancy option, you switch it to a pregnancy mode. So that's what I'm using right now. I actually do love that app, in case you guys were wondering what app to use. Even for your period, Flow, I love. So that was my only symptom. I remember when I first found out, in those first couple weeks, I was feeling great. I didn't even feel I was pregnant. I was just I mean, this feels great. I don't know, I feel this is easy. But little did I know what was coming. I started feeling sick around April 28th. It says light nausea. So I was 5 weeks and 6 days. I was only 5 weeks and 6 days, and I was feeling sick. And I remember that day, I was feeling kind of nauseous, but it was just kind of oh, it's just I just thought, oh, it's just a bad day, I'm just feeling a little off. And then April 29th, I said way worse but no vomit, so I was just super nauseous that day, super tired. And then April 30th, so it literally started from April 28th, April 29th it got worse, and then April 30th is when my puking started happening. And this is a warning, I'm going to be talking about puke, a lot of puke, because that was my whole first trimester. And before I got pregnant, I had a fear of puking. I hadn't puked since I was 7, I feel like. So that's when the whole craziness started. Then I knew, okay, I'm for sure pregnant because I'm sick. And I remember that day I could barely eat because everything was grossing me out. I think that's just when everything started happening, the triggers, the smells, the taste of food, the thoughts of food, me looking at food, even looking at fried food was a really big no, I cannot eat that or look at that or smell it. If there was a Red Robin's commercial or something, just or a Dairy Queen, I think it was a Dairy Queen ad that kept going on the TV, and I just imagining it or just seeing it that would make me want to gag. That's how bad it was for me. And then I wrote, only thing that helped was saltine crackers and these random garlic crackers I got from Publix, but now they gross me out. I mean, now I wouldn't eat saltine crackers because it would just bring all that back to me. That was the only thing that really kind of helped me. May 1st, I think I was 6 weeks. So my brother came down to Florida to visit, just hang out with us and stuff. And I remember well, he didn't know I was pregnant. I'm so early on that I'm not telling anyone. I was gonna tell him then, but I was I'm just gonna wait because I don't know. I needed to let everything settle in first because I was still in shock that I was pregnant. Also, I was still kind of in denial, even though I'm literally puking at this point and I'm nauseous. So yeah, so May 1st, I said beach with Alex, could barely eat anything. Fried food grossed me out, burgers and fries. And that's what they ordered. And I would have probably ordered burgers and fries if I wasn't sick. Yeah, so it said I ate an icy on the beach and everything sounded disgusting. Puked later that night. So I puked again. Then I went to a wedding. It was the following week and I said nauseous the whole time, so hard to remain calm because no one knew I was pregnant. This was May 6th, so this was my brother's birthday dinner. I said smells triggered me so much. The restaurant smell was so bad. I puked in the grocery store parking lot that night with my mom. I don't even know how to explain it. It's really just like my first trimester was just all puking and sleeping and feeling horrible. That's why like in my first video of talking about like my pregnancy, I told you guys like it made me question like, oh, do I even want to go through this again? But I'm feeling way better. Like you'll see later, like the second trimester, it's way better. I had my first doctor's appointment May 9th and I got to hear my baby's heartbeat. This was just a check to see like if there's a baby in my tummy. Like, but yeah, I was really nervous for this one because I just have a fear of doctors, honestly. Like I didn't know what to expect. I really thought it was just going to be like an ultrasound that goes in your stomach, but it was an intravaginal one. Honestly, it wasn't really that uncomfortable. You're just checking if everything's good, and that was like my first appointment, and that made me feel like, okay, like this is real and I am pregnant. Like I just needed all these added reassurance pieces. It says she gave us first ultrasound pictures. Baby's heartbeat was 165. So I was supposed to be 8 weeks, but she was measuring smaller, so they pushed me back, or they just pushed me back a week, so I was 7 weeks that week. Oh yeah, and then in my notes I said super shocking, and it finally set in like, OMG, I'm having a baby. A baby is literally growing inside of me. Like after that appointment, it just felt like so real. I was still really scared because I didn't tell anyone. The only person that knew was my mom and like a few other of my friends, like and Raina, my sister. It was a cute moment because I actually felt like really like calm and like excited, like okay, I can do this. Then following week I had like random pimples growing on me, like on my back, like a random spot where I like never got pimples. So I just like noted that. It says not a lot, only a couple, which again I think it is from the pregnancy because I never really had back pimples. I don't know, it was weird. And then also that week I said peeing a lot, would wake up super early and have to go pee and then go back to sleep. Then I started to pee like a lot. I noticed that I was peeing a lot when I had to wake up in the middle of the night. You know, like when you wake up and you have to pee, but sometimes you can push it off and like go back to sleep. Well, like it was like unbearable, like, so I had to go to the bathroom, and it was always like at 3 a.m 4 a.m, and then I would wake up again at like 7 a.m. So yeah, definitely started peeing a lot. So oh yeah, that was at 7 weeks. 8 weeks I was craving so much yogurt, so at least I'm trying to eat more. And then this was my second doctor appointment. It was a phone visit from the doctor's office just to tell me like what to do, like what you should and shouldn't do, like while pregnant, like getting in the hot tub, scooping kitty litter, like just stuff like that, just like a general thing. I wrote at this point all I wanted to eat or could eat was yogurt, cereal, bagels, and sometimes my mom's dinner, but very little. I was very selective with like what I was going to eat and just like things, just different things that I was going to eat because the smells, like I just didn't want to puke, and at that point I was puking still like a lot. I think it was like at least 4 times a week, maybe even more. It was so painful too, like I would cry, and I wouldn't even like intentionally like start crying, like bawling my eyes out. Like after I would puke, like tears would just come out of my eyes, and it just felt, oh, I hated that feeling. Like after I would puke, or like even puking, it wasn't just like little like gags, it was like I would puke up everything I ate that day. And yeah, it was like in the most inconvenient times, like when I'm working, when I'm in the car. Basically just my whole first trimester, like I'm telling you, I don't even think I got better until like 15 weeks. So it was like 10 straight weeks of me just like, I just wasn't feeling like myself. And that's also another reason why I didn't like share with anyone, is because like I literally just wanted to not be this sick, and I just wanted to wait until like my sickness was over. I didn't know if I was gonna have it like my whole pregnancy, so I was just like, I was just trying to make it through like every day. Like, even I love thrift shopping, and me and my mom would try and go thrift shopping, and I did not even want to look because I just felt like it was just constant nausea. Like, there was nothing that could help it. Like, they prescribed me Unisom and B6 to try and help it, and that just didn't help me. I couldn't even take prenatal vitamins because it tasted like fish. It's the smell, the taste was so bad. Like, I would puke those up. So a lot of my first trimester I really didn't take any vitamins unless like I could tolerate them that day. I would just smell them and I like couldn't. Like, I would just start gagging, and then like that scared me because I was like, okay, I don't want to puke right now, so then I wouldn't take them. Yeah, a lot of things like would trigger me. Also, like when I was working, I had families that I worked for, and I didn't want to tell them just yet, just because I was still in shock. Like, even up until my second trimester, it was just like a lot, and a lot of emotions too. My brain was just like really scrambled. Like, honestly, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I was honestly just like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, like I knew I was pregnant, but it was just hard to manage my thoughts about it. Like, I was so excited, but then also some days I would be like, oh my gosh, like it would get so overwhelming. Like, I just like telling people, and then them asking me like all these questions. Like, I just wasn't ready for that, so that's why I waited for so long. Yeah, I said I was prescribed Unisom B6, but it did not help me at all. Unisom helped me sleep for like 12 hours every night. I would nap during the day a lot, like 3-hour naps. And then my third appointment, 8 weeks, maybe 9 weeks, 9 weeks, I'm pretty sure this was like my 9-week appointment. This was like my most, like this one I did a lot at. So I had my pap smear, a cervix check, I think it was, a blood test, they weighed me, and then they prescribed me a new medication for my sickness, and that one was Reglan, I think. That actually did help me a little. I would still puke when I would take it, but it helped me calm the nausea. Like, it wasn't like as terrible as a feeling, but it was still there, so it helped me, but it also didn't help me completely. I also didn't want to like switch to another medication because I didn't really want to take medication, but I was desperate because I needed to work, and I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. I also had to do a urine sample, it said, and breast exam. So this was like the full appointment. Now my appointments aren't really like that crazy, but yeah, I did the pap smear, and I had never gotten a pap smear in my life, and it was actually really easy. Like, in my experience, like, I loved the doctor that did that because she, like, I told her like I was really nervous, and she just explained everything, and it didn't really feel like much. It was just like a little bit of scraping, but for like 2 seconds, and then I'm done. So yeah, it was actually not bad at all. And also Keaton was in the room when that happened, so I think that also helped me. Just like, he was just comforting. And then the cervix check, okay, this is TMI, this is a warning, but they put like 2 fingers in your and press on your stomach, and that was like super easy too. Like, compared to the pap smear, like that was really easy. But yeah, breast exam was super easy, just what you would get at like a normal doctor, just like pressing, checking for like bumps and stuff. Yeah, it was super easy. And another thing I wrote was I was craving nuts and sour candy. So yeah, okay, 9 weeks, 4 days, probably 1 day where I felt some relief, because I said finally some relief. It doesn't stop there. I probably thought it was stopping. Girl, it's not. May 27th, it says I puked up my butter noodles at 10 weeks. Like, I thought it was done, but no. May 29th is when I noticed that my boobs are getting way bigger and veinier. Okay, I'm just gonna share a lot of TMI. I just have to be honest. My nipples were getting bigger. Just all the changes. When was that, like 10 weeks? Yeah, 10 weeks and 2 days, boobs getting bigger. May 31st, still on 10 weeks, I was craving chocolate milk, and specifically the Fairlife brand. Another thing I wrote is water is an ick. I could not drink water. Water, if it wasn't completely like ice cold, like fresh ice, like super cold, I'm not drinking it. 11 weeks, I noticed a little bump and clothes started to fit tighter. I said was able to cook a pizza in my kitchen without gagging at 12 weeks. Oh yeah, 12 weeks I said getting used to my nausea but still puking a lot and starting to eat a little more. Still napping like crazy. At 13 weeks I hit my second trimester, but I was still very sick and puking. Okay, 14 weeks I went to Nashville. This is when, I think this was my last time puking. No, it wasn't my last time, it was my second to last time. But I only puked once while we were in Nashville, so that whole week. So I kind of knew like, okay, my puking is finally ending. I was feeling grateful. So yeah, I only puked once while I was there. Then 15 weeks, it says finally out of puking every day. But last time I puked was at 15 weeks and 4 days, and it was like a very little, so it was like the finale of my puking journey. Finally, I haven't puked since then, thank God. And that was 10 weeks ago now. Well, 25 weeks, I think, or 26. I don't even know. Am I 26? I think I'm 26. Okay. And at 15 weeks I said showing more, tiny bump, and it's noticeable to other people. And I felt baby move for the first time, like very little fluttery feeling, but I did feel something different, so I knew it was like my baby. And at 16 weeks I started to eat more and can tolerate more foods, so just I can eat really whatever. I was eating my normal amount of calories, like what I would normally eat, which I was so thankful for. Like, I missed food. And then that's when I found out the gender. So at 16 weeks I found out the gender. Me and Kaden went to a private ultrasound place because we weren't gonna find out the gender from my doctor until like a long time, like 18 weeks maybe, but we waited for so long because it was just like a whole thing. Like, I was in Florida, like I wasn't going to the doctor. We just went to a private place and we got to see her like super well. And she didn't tell us at the place. We actually bought like that little popper from her. Like, she found out the gender from us. She would just tell us like close your eyes when she's like trying to find the gender, but we could still like see her moving a lot. It was just so sweet. I actually loved doing that, so honestly I recommend that if you are pregnant, like go to a private ultrasound, because the ultrasound is like really fun, and like it's like 30 minutes of like just looking at your baby, watching them move and stuff. And me and Kenan found out like just us two first, and then we told like our family. So I actually loved that we did it like that too. After that, the day after we found out that we were having a girl, I got proposed to, and I'll do like another separate video of like all that with Kaden here because I feel like he'll explain it better. But yeah, I just wanted to include that. And then 17 weeks, started to crave smoothies, cold stuff, and definitely started popping out. So I was definitely getting more of a belly. It wasn't really that round, it just looked like I was super bloated, but definitely like in my lower stomach I was like popping out more. And then 19 weeks, rounder belly, harder to sleep at night. 20 weeks, I was craving deli meat, something I can't have. Like, I literally wanted deli meat, so I bought like vegan turkey, and I only ate that for 2 days because it was just, honestly, it was gross. Then at 20 weeks, that's when I got my pregnancy pillow right here, because I could not sleep. I just felt like laying on my back was getting harder just because you could feel like it just didn't feel right. Laying on my sides it was fine, but then my hips would start to hurt, so then I would have to like move to the other side or switch to the other side. Obviously you can't lay on your stomach, so I mean, I was never really a stomach sleeper, so that was like fine for me, but I just knew I wanted a pregnancy pillow, and I didn't like need it at that week. Now I definitely do need it because I'm a lot bigger. But I just knew like I should get it because it's getting harder to sleep. And also I haven't been taking naps as much. I think, yeah, when I hit 20 weeks I don't think I was really taking any naps. Like, I haven't really been sleeping that well. Also at 20 weeks I caught her moving on camera, so you can tell from my belly like a little hit, like little kicks on the outside, so that was really cool. 21 weeks is when we took photos to announce, and then I announced at 21 weeks and 4 days. So no one knew until I was 21 weeks pregnant. So literally I just told people like a month ago, and it feels like I'm already about to give birth. Now I'm gonna do my second trimester recap, and this one's not as long as the first one, because I haven't been doing like week by week, because really nothing has changed other than like my boobs actually aren't even sore. They are getting bigger, like I'm just getting bigger. The main thing of my second trimester is like how hungry I am. Like I literally feel like I can eat every 30 minutes, like a whole full meal, like a whole Chipotle bowl. Like every 30 minutes, every time I eat even like a full dinner, like 30 minutes later I'm hungry. Like that's just the main difference from my first trimester to the second. It says harder to sleep and get comfy, so obviously because I'm getting bigger, it's just harder to get comfortable in the bed and like find comfortable positions when you're limited to like 2. At 24 weeks, I said my pee in the middle of the night died down, but I still wake up early to pee. Yeah, so I haven't been waking up in the middle of the night now to pee, but I have been waking up earlier to pee, so that's just the only thing. So like peeing more frequently in the daytime than like waking up at night, so that's good. I actually love this trimester. My back aches starting more, so at 25 weeks my back hurts more. I've been getting leg cramps, which like the Charlie horses and stuff, I've been getting those. I've only had like 3, I think, that have woken me up, but I have been getting those. Way more kicks. I've been feeling her kick so much, and that is something I love. Like I don't care if she is kicking my ribs. Like I love when she kicks me, because that just eases my mind. Like I get so anxious when I don't feel her for like literally like an hour, or not even an hour, like maybe like half the day. If I don't feel her, I get like so worried. I'm like kick me soon, please. It says kicks consistent around 25 weeks for me, so like I feel her every day now. There was like a couple days where I didn't feel her, and I was getting worried. I was like, okay, let me go to the hospital. But like you don't feel them consistently, I think, until like 27 weeks or 28 weeks. So one more thing with the second trimester so far is definitely more emotion, more sadness. In the beginning of my second trimester, not beginning, but like maybe it's at 20 weeks. At 20 weeks, I was feeling way more, like just sadness. Like I would cry a lot, and it wasn't sad because of my pregnancy. It was just things like I was just feeling a lot of emotion. So that's something that's different, and definitely very irritable. Like I get annoyed really easily, which I'm just admitting that like Kaden annoys me a lot. I still love him though, and I'm happy that he's still loving me, because I have been mean to him. But yeah, really my first trimester, a lot more changes than my second trimester. My second trimester, I'm just like, my belly's getting bigger and my emotions are different. Eating a lot, like, which is a major thing. Like I'm eating a lot. Yeah, that's just like a recap of how my pregnancy has been going so far. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about anything, and maybe I'll go into even more detail. Yeah, so far I'm loving being pregnant right now, and I love the second trimester. I'm telling you guys, like, God has helped me with this one. The first one, again, horrible for me, but again, don't be scared, because everyone's body is different. I've heard so many different stories about people's pregnancies, and people that I know are pregnant now are experiencing similar but also very different pregnancies than me. Yeah, that's where we're at now. I'm 26 weeks today, or 26 weeks and 1 day today, and this is what the app looks like. That's what my baby looks like. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.